Thank you for calling Hail Mary Hotline. This is Bridget. Please hold while I transfer you.
Welcome back to Hail Mary Hotline. I'm your host, Taylor.
I'm your host, Sarah.
And we are here with you today after, I'm going to say it was kind of an off week for college football. Not for some teams. Some teams had a great weekend. But overall, no.
It's not. It's no week 3.
No.
I'll tell you that. It is no week 3. And I think that sums up week 2.
Week 3 is stacked.
Yeah,
I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
But my personal favorite game of the weekend, South Florida beating Florida. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Top of the line.
Oh my goodness.
Game of the weekend, definitely.
And to win it on a field goal, too.
I know.
Wow.
After just such a terrible, terrible start by Florida. Just
Where was their offense in the fourth quarter?
writing obituaries?
For Billy Napier, question mark?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do with him after this week? I mean,
The silence is so loud.
it is. Like, there's nothing to say. I loved getting on Instagram and seeing all the Florida fans leaving the stadium just chanting "Fire Billy." I thought that was great, but it sums up the game.
I know.
Like, it wasn't even close.
They were off to such a bad start.
Yes.
With the Florida player spitting on USF.
Flashbacks to a certain shoe incident.
But and then proceeded to not even show up to the game.
Mm-hmm. There's not much to say about it. It was just sad. But I will say, South Florida is the only team in the nation with 2 ranked wins.
And a sad day for the SEC because Florida, why did you lose to South Florida?
Did you see the people who made the Florida jerseys that said Lagalele on them?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. That
And,
was awesome.
Oh my gosh, there was another one where it was Florida couldn't beat FSU, but they couldn't. Oh my god.
Oh, it was something Florida said that they were going to have a field day with FSU, but they couldn't even handle FSU spelled backwards.
Yes, that's what
That
it was.
was a good one. That was a good one. They still have a tough schedule to go, too.
They have one of the worst schedules that we've seen.
They definitely do. They also dropped out of the rankings completely after this weekend, and South Florida moved up to 18, I think. Yeah.
Moving up to number 18. So that's 2 weeks in a row also that we've had a not ranked team move up into the AP poll.
FSU is a top 10 team now. I would just
Yeah,
like
they
to point
are.
it out. I mean, FSU fans have got to be beside themselves, especially after last season, winning as many games as you did last season through 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible improvement.
I know. It's just, it goes so poorly for Florida. I mean, Billy Napier also being the offensive coordinator is such a bad look for Florida, especially after the way that they played this game.
I don't love the idea of head coaches calling plays. I just feel like that I don't feel like they can see the field in an unbiased way like an OC can. I feel like they have too many things on their plate, and adding play calling to it, like being involved is one thing, or, Kirby calling up Bobo and saying, don't throw another screen pass is a little bit of a different thing. But
Which I have things to say about
we
later.
have many things to say about that. But I think that their head is in too many different places for them to be an effective play caller. I think that might have had some to do with that loss, but I've seen that he's still going to be calling the plays.
Just don't think it's smart. I think
don't
that
think
Florida
so
needs
either.
to invest in an actual offensive coordinator to be able to look at the field, look at what their quarterback is actually humanly capable of realistically, and take that into their play calling. Because, I mean, he's attached to Lagway, and Lagway can't save him right now.
No.
He played a horrible game.
No.
He overthrew some pretty easy, go straight down the line passes. He was pretty sloppy on the field, made some pretty crappy decisions. It's just, he's never been as great as Billy wants him to be.
No. And, I mean, last year he had his moments, but I don't know. I feel like he got a lot of hype in the offseason for someone who, I mean, he was coming off a shoulder injury. He really hasn't been able to practice much. So for him to have as much hype as he does around him, I don't know.
And he looks like he hasn't practiced.
He does
You know
look
why?
like he hasn't practiced.
Because he hasn't practiced.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what kind of blinders he might have on, but it's not looking good for him. And, looking at just how they played. Just
Did they play? Did they?
someone did. Dude, Byron Brown, senior quarterback from USF, 63.9% completion, which is pretty good.
That
I
is
would say,
pretty
for the
good.
game played, 263 yards, 134.4 efficiency rating, which is
Wow.
important because he had worse numbers than Legway and was a more efficient quarterback.
That says a lot.
And it says a lot.
The efficiency rating is incredibly important because, you can take all those other numbers and, you can compare like, well, this guy has more yards or this guy has a better completion rate. Well, what does their efficiency rating say?
What do they do with those yards? What do they do with
Yes.
that completion rate? What did they try to do with those attempts?
What is their adjusted yards per attempt?
Yes.
Yes.
Very, very important numbers.
Yes.
It wasn't by much. It was only like a 4.5 point difference. But even
still,
then, that makes a difference.
it does.
He
In
was
those close games, those tight situations, that is what makes a difference.
He was a more efficient quarterback, and it showed. That's why they won.
Yes, it is.
So I think that is all deserved. Other than that, Jaden Bowe, sophomore from Florida, he's their running back. He went 18 for 93, which I think was a pretty decent number.
That is
all
pretty
things
good.
considered. He had 13 carries and definitely helped them out in the pass protection
Yeah.
realm, which they were not great on.
No, they weren't great at much that game.
No.
Yeah. I'll be very interested to see if Florida loses another game like that, or even if they lose many more games in general. I think it may be time for Napier to go.
Dude, they might be the new FSU. Going 2-10 for a season the way things are going.
I don't know about that yet.
I mean,
we'll
don't-
see.
Don't
We'll
quote
see.
me yet, but you know
Yeah.
the direction I'm going.
I
in
know
when
I know the
say that.
direction you're going in. I don't think they'll be that bad. There are very few teams that are that bad. Wow. But I can definitely see where you're going with that.
Mhm.
Now, one of the other eventful parts of the weekend was the border war, Kansas and Missouri. I had no idea how much these two teams hated each other until this weekend. They haven't even played in like 13 years.
No. So I don't know what kind of generational hate you have to put into people to hate each other for 13 years, and I've never played played for that, but
Wow.
it's inspiring hatred.
It is inspiring hatred. I think the SEC short did it best. Like, if any of you haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's so good. But the Missouri fan, like, going and literally, like, completely tearing up the Kansas car. And
Like-
they're like, it's still drivable, and then pulls out a knife. But it's like, Missouri tried to make it interesting.
They did.
But they ended up winning 42-31.
I mean, it was a good game for them.
The environment was great.
The environment was incredible.
I saw that they had guards lined up, preparing for Missouri to storm the field at some point. I don't know if they did or not. I never actually went back and looked, but I know they were preparing for it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then just marching on the line to a also more disappointing conference matchup, Ole Miss and Kentucky.
Yeah. It happened.
Kentucky is such a crappy football team. I'm a little disappointed in Ole Miss for not doing a little bit better.
It's a very Lane Kiffin thing to do to run the score up. I was expecting a much larger deficit.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say I'm surprised that Stoops is still at Kentucky.
You're telling me?
I know. He's been there longer than Kirby's been at Georgia. And what have they done in that time?
Nothing.
Exactly. Like, I'm really surprised. Like, I know they're a basketball school. I know that football is not what all their attention goes to, but I'm just really surprised that they haven't tried to turn over some coaching.
But compete at least.
Yeah.
Because they don't compete anymore.
They don't. It's always Kentucky's always one of those games where I'm like, oh yeah, that's gonna happen.
It happened. Their fans are pretty nice.
Yeah, I do
They
like
show
their
up.
fans. Yeah,
A decent amount of them always show up.
there's a lot of blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you think Kentucky, you think basketball. You don't think
You
football.
don't think football. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
It just was a disappointing game, I think, for our first SEC matchup.
yeah. Again, changing this week, which is so good.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Yes. But anyway, another SEC game, maybe not two SEC teams, but Michigan and Oklahoma. Oklahoma won 24-13. I actually thought this was a good game.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Oklahoma right now is leading the SEC on third downs. For
Wow.
Oklahoma to be up and coming and play the way that they have, I think that's important to point out.
That Mateer guy is good. I watched him play for the first
is.
time this weekend. I was pretty impressed.
Oklahoma has a lot going for them with him.
Absolutely.
With him being there.
I don't necessarily know that I'd put him up for the Heisman yet, like I've seen people doing, but I like him. He has showed that he needs to be talked about at least a little bit. He's better than they've had in a while, I think.
Mm-hmm. But something, oh my gosh, I just have to. So, Bryce Underwood.
Oh.
Michigan's quarterback.
Oh.
Against John Mateer. The important thing to remember is that John Mateer played a really great game.
He did.
Right? His percentage was 61.8, 270 yards. His efficiency rating, because it's going to come as a shock when you hear Michigan's, was 132.3. Okay?
Which is pretty good.
He played a really efficient game, and the rest of his numbers back that up.
Yeah.
Underwood underperformed, dude, is the call for this game.
Can I get that on a t-shirt?
Yeah.
Should have gone to Alabama.
24 attempted passes. His percentage was 37.5.
And his efficiency rating, 87.2. It's... Mm-hmm.
I mean...
He decommitted from Alabama.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I mean, the rest of his numbers also attest to that efficiency rating, but...
Oh, yeah.
If that is not an attest to that game... I mean, this might just be something that we have to more consistently look at when we compare quarterbacks.
I think we should. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I think it speaks a little more highly to the quarterback and what the game actually was able to bring.
Yeah.
And I just, from what I've heard and people talk so highly about Bryce Underwood,
he was supposed to be a lot better than this. And for him to play that bad in a ranked matchup, granted, they still might beat Ohio State because that's just what they do. But
and I pray that you do.
Please.
So Underwood.
Please beat Alabama again. Please beat Alabama again. Somehow. But other than that, I don't see them going very far at all. Just because he was not impressive.
No, I see Oklahoma going a lot farther than Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oklahoma also has a kind of tough schedule going ahead of them, but I've heard talk that they have a really decent opportunity, even just based off what they did today, to go 9-3, 10-2 to maybe be in a playoff conversation.
I'll be really interested to see how they do against Texas in a couple weeks.
I think that also is going to depend on Manning.
Yeah.
Kind of what Texas can pull together.
Yeah.
Speaking of, did you see the comment Sark made about Manning going to the bathroom?
What?
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, well now I sound like an idiot without context. So for those who don't know...
Receipts, please.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, when Manning was throwing, his arm mechanics have been off. He tends to steer a little wide.
Yeah.
He throws instead of through the line.
Straight through, yeah.
So, well, for those of you watching, he tends to turn out, but his shoulder is kind of way back here. He has his elbow kind of far up, and he looks like he's, wincing. Like he's grimacing when he throws and releases that ball. So people on the sidelines and watching were like, and in the press conference were like, "Hey, is Manning okay?
Good?
Like, does his shoulder hurt? He looks like he might have a strain, coming off of an injury." And he was like, "Did Arch tell you that?" And they're like, "No, it just, you can see it in his face. It looks like he's hurt." And
yeah.
Sark goes, "Well, I don't know what your face looks like when you go to the bathroom." And, stopped it right there. So I don't know if he was trying to get at, your face strains, but I feel like there's a much better way to go about that than the way that he put it.
Okay.
I really thought you would have seen that.
No.
All right, anyway. Somebody out there has got to know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
No, I have not seen that.
You know what? I'm going to leave that in. Somebody out there has got to know what I'm talking about.
Evidently, I'm not chronically online enough for that one.
But Oklahoma might have a real chance to beat Texas.
Okay.
All right, well, evidently...
Continue.
evidently, even after breaking to show Taylor the clip, she still didn't get it, so.
Not chronically online enough.
All right. Moving on. Not that this was still much of a game, but we have to talk about it. Georgia Austin Peay.
I was really excited coming off of last weekend against Marshall. I was not so excited coming off of Austin Peay. It looked like we didn't want to be there. Our offensive line, I don't know what was going on, but they were not blocking well. They were leaving a ton of gaps. And I'm not sold on Gunner right now. I feel like he's not seeing the field very well. Like, there were a few times that I could see a receiver wide open downfield and nothing. We would throw that stupid screen pass.
Which, pause. A keynote, Gunner completed 28 passes. Half. 14 of those were screens behind the line. Mike Bobo.
But before you say it, I know where you're going.
Uh-huh.
I will say, with Tennessee coming up this weekend, I can, at least to some extent, understand that, maybe we don't want to show all of our big, really intense plays to Tennessee because they were going to be watching. So maybe he didn't want to open up the playbook because it would be better in the long run if we just played it safe, really conservative, all of the backyard flag football plays. But it made for a very stressful game.
It did, especially because, yes, half of his passes were screens, but also there were so many other mistakes in those easy double screen passes that Bobo loves to throw.
It wasn't during one of those screen passes, but when Frazier fumbles within the first few minutes of the game, it's going to be a rough game.
We're in trouble.
And it was. It was hard to watch. That's like the only way I know how to put it. It just, it wasn't like the score fest I expected it to be, but I didn't, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but only being up 11 at half.
The environment was also so bad.
It was so dead.
Maybe it was Saturday in Athens who posted it, but a picture of the student section 10 minutes before the game.
It was
empty. My gosh. Wide open. I probably could have sat in the student section if I wanted to that game.
You probably could have. I think I could have walked over there. But, and I mean, some of that was, I'm sure all of you saw the pictures of, there was actually a really cool picture of the lightning striking behind the Jumbotron. That was actually really cool. But I'm sure most of you saw that there was a 2-hour weather delay. I think that's what it was.
It was a kind of intense storm for 30 minutes for those of you who were still in the stadium. Doing, belly slides on the Tate lawn.
Yes. But, and I'm sure that had something to do with some people probably just said, you know what? I don't want to go. I don't want to get wet. And they moved the game up an hour. And some people probably said, I don't want to deal with it. I'll just not go. And then after the delay, probably half those people went home. I mean, I know we did, and we rarely ever leave games. But it's just one of those games that, you're sitting there and you're like, there's not much happening. I could be somewhere else right now.
Which, yeah, I mean, Gunner, I definitely have lost a little bit of confidence in, but I think he looked so much less confident this game.
Definitely.
So I don't know if some of the pressure of excuse me, goodness gracious, I don't know if some of the pressures of maybe the week that's coming up or maybe criticism from last week's game have kind of gotten to him a little bit, which is understandable. Just the kind of position that the Georgia quarterback is supposed to hold in the place and the standard that everybody kind of holds Georgia to regardless of who is in that position. I also want to say about his ability to read the field and screen. I had found a YouTube account. I was watching a little bit of film back because we didn't see a ton of that game. And if you slow it down, you can watch him turn and kind of try to look at his options. So I think that timing wise, he is taking probably a little too much time, but is taking the time to actually look at all of his options. I think that he was taking too long to throw and missed the opportunities to make some of those plays. There was one where maybe it was a slant or a post, but the wide receiver had kind of turned to go in and meet his mark, and Gunnar hadn't thrown yet, and he went and he went and he was gone. He was way down the field, but then he wasn't an option anymore because safety dropped.
Yep.
So it's kind of those things where the cadence wasn't where it needed to be. I think the offensive line had something to do with probably his drop in confidence.
Yeah, he didn't have quite the safety that he had against Marshall.
No, especially from, and not even just on the line, but players like Delp, who showed so much promise last week and, didn't do as well. Or, Freeling was one of those that missed a couple of gaps.
Yeah.
Drew Bobo had started to look a little bit better, like he was taking some notes, dropped back again. I know that we had an insane ankle injury.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. I feel so bad.
Yeah.
Like, watching him get carted off the field at half was,
Yeah, and of course, our prayers to his recovery, because I know that he's going to have to get some surgery done and miss most of the season.
I think it's the whole season. I think I saw that today.
But it just... I don't know. I saw somewhere else that people have kind of noted that Georgia does tend to do this thing where we always, for whatever reason, kind of fluke against Austin P or whatever our, second kind of unranked game is, and then come back and do pretty well against our first kind of conference opponent.
Yeah.
Which is scary, and it's not the way that football should run. You should always play well regardless of who you're playing, I think.
But that's not always the case. No. And I will say if you're Georgia, it's got to be hard to get up for a game like that. Because it's like you know how it's going to go. You know that realistically you can beat them with your eyes closed, even though there were some moments there where I was a little worried. But you know that this is going to be one of those games where you go out there, you get it done, and then you focus on next week. So to some extent, I think that their minds probably weren't all there. I know that Kirby let them have it. I don't know if you saw all the videos of him yelling at them, but he was so upset. Belt guy was working overtime. But I think that they were definitely much more focused on Tennessee because that's where their head probably needs to be at, because it's going to be a real challenge.
I think that Gunnar just needs to, hard as it may be, just really try to trust himself the way that everybody else is trusting him. I think that he needs to gain a lot more confidence in his ability, because I think he's a really dynamic quarterback. I agree. He has the ability to nail all those fundamentals that you need when it comes to making those more creative plays, when it comes to letting Bobo do what he wants to, which Georgia needs, especially going into next week. So I think that he has a lot of potential to do really, really well. I think that it comes with confidence and game experience, which he doesn't have much of. Tennessee is going to be one heck of a game.
Yes, it is. Game day being there, too. The atmosphere is going to be unreal. I know Tennessee's favored to win, which, honestly, I'm very okay with. I like being the underdog because, if you win, awesome. If you don't win, you weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to be okay. Tennessee scares me just for no other reason that it's Tennessee in Neyland, which is just a tough place to play. But I really do think that Georgia's going to be able to get it done.
I think the opening on the road is hard.
Yes.
In Neyland especially is going to be a freaking nightmare.
Yeah. But however, Georgia now holds the SEC record for most home wins, not Tennessee.
Not Tennessee.
So
33, by the way. And we also have beat Tennessee 8 times
in a row, which is a little scary because it's got to end sometime.
That's in jeopardy now.
Yeah. It's got to end sometime. And that's kind of what, every year it gets one more, and I'm like, is this the year? Because, I don't think Georgia has lost to Tennessee since I really got into football.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I remember I was at the game in Athens when Tennessee won on that Hail Mary in the end zone. I was sitting right there. I actually vividly remember that. Yeah, but that's the last time. I was 12.
That's your villain origin story.
That is my villain origin story. Right then, right there, that's when I decided I hated orange.
And that's a good story to tell.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Oh, that brought up bad memories. I don't know why I talked about that.
I think that Georgia has all the parts that they need to play well on Saturday. And to
Absolutely.
do what they need to do. Our defense has always had depth. I think that we've carried that over and made some serious changes in the offseason, which we talked
Absolutely.
about last week. Who, I feel like in the offseason and last year, all anybody ever talked about was all that Georgia wasn't, what they couldn't do, what they were lacking of. And now
Yeah.
I think Kirby and some of the changes that the staff has made and that the players have made is kind of looking to, okay, well, yeah, you might have those issues, but like, look at everything that they fixed, look at everything they've done, look at all they can do. So, depth of the defense, I think, is something that we've missed and something that's going to be really crucial against such a dynamic and running offense
Yes.
like Tennessee.
Yes. Defense has nothing to do with the final score of that game. They held Austin Peay a couple times to like 3rd and 1 or like in the red zone right on the goal line, and they didn't let them score. So like defense played a phenomenal game, holding them to 2 field goals after, letting them get down the field, make it a little close sometimes. They honestly played really well. It's our offense is what is scaring me.
Our offense just played sloppier this week.
They did.
And yeah, I mean, like we talked about, a lot of it could be that they didn't look like they were all there. Some of it could have been the delay was obnoxious. I will say, moving the game up an hour, cutting down on warm-up time, and then the 2-hour delay, cutting down on warm-ups. And
it was just awkward all day,
Yeah.
just because of the timing of everything and the weather coming in. It just made for it was just off all day.
and it wasn't the environment that we want in Sanford.
No, it wasn't.
And it won't be, unfortunately, until we play Alabama in 2 weeks.
That place is going to be rocking.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's gonna be
yeah.
a scary day in Athens. I'm not going to
But it's going to be a great day in
It's
Athens.
gonna be a great day in Athens.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, there's other things about Tennessee that I think should be noted and, people should be aware of. Joey Aguilar is somebody that I haven't seen a ton of yet this season. All I know is that he's better than Nico Yamaleava.
That's not hard.
That's all anybody needs to know. But
Yamaleava for Heisman.
yeah, and USF for president. Okay, moving on. But he has 0 turnovers in his last 2 games.
It's pretty good.
But that could also mean that he's not throwing turnover-worthy.
That is also
plays.
true. He could be just taking the short route, kind of like screen passes. Like, I honestly don't know. I haven't watched Tennessee play enough. But if he's throwing like these short little passes, or if he's throwing to wide open receivers because they've played nobody the last couple weeks.
And Tennessee plays wide.
Yes, Tennessee does play wide.
Like, really kind of obnoxious about it, just
Yeah.
like color orange, but they play really wide and they run. So
They like to run.
that's the only thing where I'm like, yes, he has 0 turnovers, but I think the quality and the diversity and what's being called and what they're actually doing is a lot of what makes up for that, and also
Yeah.
the opponents. Because I know that we had a few major slip-ups and we did cause a turnover, but I feel like even with half of our plays being screens, there were a few times that he tried.
Yes.
And he wanted it.
Yes.
And he went for something that he probably shouldn't have gone for.
But at the same time, I like the creativity. I like seeing something different, that we're moving in a different direction and not just doing same old until it does not work anymore. Because at some point, defense is going to figure it out.
Oh, yeah. That screen pass, Bobo, it's going to grout us out real quick.
Over under, how many screen passes do we see this weekend?
Okay, let's go. Let's call this right now. Let's go over under 14. That's what we hit this game.
So let's go over under 14 and a half.
Yeah. Based on,
I
feel like
I'll take the under. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll see.
I'm leaning over, but not by much. Like
16, 17. Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah.
we'll keep an eye out for how many.
Yes. We'll give you an update.
We'll give you an update next week.
Yes.
Keep an eye out for how many screen passes we throw. But
Yeah. Although Georgia has proven that they can stop the run. So I think as long as we get their running backs under control, I think defense is going to have a pretty good game.
I think defense is going to control that game really well if we can keep doing what we're doing and reading what we're reading, especially knowing what we know about
Yes.
Tennessee and the way they like to run. But I think that we still, because we never do it. We just need a faster start. We need to get a little bit of leverage.
Yes, we do.
Keep them off the field for as long as possible.
Yeah.
So it might come down to just marching down the line, get quick punches until, maybe you're 3rd and 5 and, try for something a little bit longer, but try not to go 3rd and out.
Yes.
So, yeah. I think that we can win this game. I don't know how it's going to happen or how well we're going to do, but I think it is very possible that we can.
I do think Georgia wins this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not just as a Georgia fan, just in general, I think Georgia wins this game.
I do too. I think just other than the fact that I feel more confident in how established everybody else is, all the moving parts know how they're supposed to move.
Yes.
It's just Gunnar having the confidence to make it to them. So, yeah, I think we win this game.
I do too.
I think is a decent call.
I mean, I would agree. Now, our first 1-0 SEC team is Ole Miss, and our first 0-1 SEC team is Kentucky, just from last weekend. That feels kind of weird to say that the only team with a conference win right now is Ole Miss, but, here we are. That'll change this weekend. There's actually a few good games this weekend. I'm so excited. Florida and LSU, that might be fun.
I'm taking LSU on that
I'm
game.
also taking LSU, but still, maybe we'll see another shoe get thrown.
And it's still at the Swamp. Maybe after the way that they played against USF, people come wanting blood.
Although, if Florida loses this game and if they lose bad,
oh my gosh, they're done.
I wouldn't want to be in Gainesville.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
Now, Arkansas and Ole Miss. Ole Miss is going to win that game. Sorry, Arkansas. No. Clemson and Georgia Tech, though.
I take Tech. I think that's going to be a decent game.
I would also take Tech, actually. Clemson hasn't impressed me.
I drank the Kool-Aid preseason. I will admit.
You
tried to just, what if a little bit, but...
Sarah, orange is ugly. We've said
remember,
this. Yes.
Remember, orange is ugly.
No more.
Always. Yeah.
That's on
Not
you.
for anybody at home that might take this as me cheering for Georgia Tech. I just statistically think that they're more likely to win than the disappointing performance that Clemson has shown all season long.
Orange is ugly.
And orange is ugly.
Yep. Orange is ugly. Georgia, Tennessee. Georgia wins. Orange is ugly.
Georgia wins.
Vanderbilt and South Carolina. I actually think this could be fun.
I want Vanderbilt to win.
However,
I
don't know. I truthfully don't know enough about South Carolina yet, but I will be watching this game.
I think that from what I've seen and heard a little bit, the way that they've been playing, it can look worrisome for them facing Vanderbilt, which I think is a great spot to be in.
Absolutely.
For Vanderbilt fans and everybody else who doesn't like South Carolina going into this game. And, just fans of football. Just a good old-fashioned, I love football game.
Exactly. And Texas A&M and Notre Dame, I think this could be a fun game, too. I'm gonna be catching that one because I really don't know enough about A&M yet either, but I know that I'm really interested to see how Notre Dame's team kind of evolves throughout the season because they have a lot of the pieces. We'll see if they can actually put it together and make a run for it, but still.
Yeah. I think CJ Carr is going to be another, kind of Gunnar Stockton thing where it comes with game experience. I think that he hasn't had the experience, and Miami was a hard place to start. And I think he did really well against Miami.
Oh, absolutely.
The game that they played. So I'm really excited to see the kind of changes that Notre Dame has made in facing Texas A&M. And I'm sorry, Bridget, but I think I'm going to take Notre Dame on that game. Just
honestly, I don't know. I'll play devil's advocate. I'll take A&M.
We'll split that game and we'll come back next week.
Yeah. And South Florida and Miami, ranked matchup. I personally, please South Florida win that game. Please. You'll be 3-0 with 3 ranked wins. Please.
For the love of all that is good in football. And if you know what's good for you and the possibility of being in the same sentence as the word playoff, you will win that game.
Please. I think if the playoffs started today, they'd be in. because I think they're the 5th highest rated conference champion.
Yeah.
Theoretically, as if the playoffs started
As
now.
of, like, this week.
Yeah. And then our last big game of the weekend, I don't really know if you can call it a big game, but Samford at Baylor. Go Sammy U. They're going to get killed, but go Sammy U.
But go Sammy U.
Yeah, y'all have fun.
We are legally obligated to say that. This ad is not sponsored by Samford University, and for anyone who is listening, please fix the Wi-Fi.
Please, Samford University, sponsor us. We'll talk about your football, please.
Uh-huh.
Will we, though? I don't know.
But with those weekend watches, we have definitely a much more exciting week of football to look forward to than the one we just had.
Absolutely.
But I think even with some of those games, we had a lot of very exciting upsets,
Yeah.
I will say.
Oh, shout out Mississippi State for upsetting Arizona State.
yeah, so
Devil ain't
sorry.
welcome in the Bible Belt. Yeah, that's right.
Mississippi State is 2-0. Their record is higher than Alabama's. I would just like to know.
Rank them. Please.
Okay, quick note while we're on the topic. Alabama's, what was it, 73, 77-0 shutout.
Yeah, 73, I think.
Everybody's saying, oh, Alabama's back. They beat
UL Monroe.
UL Monroe 77-0.
Listen.
I'd like to see them play Georgia before you go screaming from the hilltops that Alabama is back. They did lose to FSU in week 1. And FSU, by the way, you have, 8 weeks to beat Florida? And I think you have a very real chance.
Please beat Florida.
So please beat Florida.
I know that this is a bad Alabama team. However, I legally cannot say anything regarding the projected score on that game or outcome or anything because
No comment.
no comment. All that needs to be said. We'll see you in 3
something
weeks.
to point out and note. Alabama, don't get your hopes up yet. Georgia, don't get your hopes up yet.
No. Game is 3 weeks away.
It is 3 weeks away, and Mississippi State still has a better record than Alabama.
Who else has a better record than Alabama in the SEC? Let's see, shall we? Vanderbilt.
Auburn. Mizzou. Arkansas.
South Carolina. Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Auburn. Tennessee. Literally everybody but Texas, Kentucky, and Florida. How does that make you feel, Alabama? Did you see the lady online who said if she won the Powerball, she would use the first 70 million on his buyout? I love football. It just means more.
Yes. It just
Means more.
Hello, Bridget.
Hi guys, what's up?
It's been an interesting weekend, hasn't it?
It sure has been. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
I think you've had more of an interesting weekend than actual football did.
This is true, but that's for another night.
There were a lot of fun things that happened this weekend in the world of college football.
There
yeah.
were. I'm excited about these ones. So, to begin, this one's not as exciting. This one's kind of gross, but there was a Florida player that spat in the face of a USF player and then proceeded to lose the game. So,
Reminds me of a certain shoe incident.
There's a Florida shoe that got chucked down the field, and it just... Yeah, they're not great about the sportsmanlike conduct, honestly.
I think Florida might get lots of those kids that had anger management issues in elementary school, the ones that would need to go into the hallway just because they decided they wanted to throw a chair, but this time it's spitting at another player or throwing a shoe.
Yeah.
And they lost that game.
They did.
So they did.
They did.
Goes to show you, always have good sportsmanship.
But they did put USF on the AP poll. So
Yes,
I guess
they
there are
did.
good things that come from that game. Got a team ranked.
Yay! How exciting. That's amazing. And speaking of another kind of sort of unsportsmanlike conduct, we had a Mizzou fan that passed up $25,000 to kick a ball at the KSU bench.
I mean, that's commitment to hatred, but I kind of respect it.
I mean, okay, you gotta remember, haven't played each other in 13 years.
And you pass up 25 grand because you hate Kansas that much.
I mean, why?
For anybody listening, I don't know if you saw the big FKU that he drew on himself.
Jeez,
It was great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, you do you, man. But not gonna lie, I think I would have curbed my hatred and found some peace in my heart to pay for PA school.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But hey, maybe this guy already has $25,000 sitting
Maybe
around.
he didn't need it.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe he was like, I'm gonna volunteer to do this because I don't need this, and I'm gonna waste this all and kick it over the sideline.
Or maybe he's just a good football fan and hates Kansas that much.
That's also
respectable.
Very possible. Very, very possible. But I mean, I don't know. And then another fun one that also costs money. Labubu's. I have a golden Labubu.
Oh, I have the one and only 24-karat golden Labubu. Hate Labubus. Really hate
They're terrifying.
Labubus.
Shout out to Emily, my wonderful roommate. We have a Labubu in our room whose name
I know you do.
Fungus.
Shut up.
Shout out to
They do.
Fungus.
They do.
Fungus turns around on his own sometimes. We
Bridget.
don't know how Fungus
Why can't you
turns
throw
around.
him away?
Well, because Fungus is nice. Right, Fungus? We love Fungus.
She says with a gun to her head.
He's just like a little mini teal Labubu that hangs on our wall.
Okay.
He's interesting, but to get off that topic, kind of, the Oregon Duck dressed up as a Labubu. That he might be in my nightmares. I'm not gonna lie. A duck with teeth dressed as a Labubu.
That's fair, actually. The teeth are a little scary, but I thought this was hilarious.
No, it's really funny because he just comes like waddling out.
Yeah.
and it's not even like a fun colored Labubu. He's a like tan colored Labubu.
Yeah, they could have at least made him green.
That's what I was
Yeah.
Make him Oregon colored.
Yeah, that would have been
They're
fun.
so creative with uniforms. You couldn't have that turnaround with a green Labubu.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't even know. And on to the next one, who might be as old as the Labubus are. A 66-year-old band member from LSU. He's a freshman. Hey, you know what? That is goals. If you don't have a degree by the time you're 66 years old and you decide to go back to school and join the marching band, like...
Well, I was looking into this. His dream was to be a member of the LSU band, so he went back to school so that he could do it before he died. And I'm like, that's just so cool.
That's actually really
That's so
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
It was so sweet, so
I know.
wholesome.
Like, I just think that's
Wait.
awesome.
Oh, wait. Now I feel
Yeah.
bad for, like, making fun of how old he was.
No, it's
he's
so
not really,
sweet.
he's not really that old, though. 66 is young.
Yeah.
He's killing
Yeah.
it. Good for him. He looks like he's enjoying it, too.
He does.
Go,
Yeah.
Kent. Shout out to Kent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I aspire to be like you when I'm older, Kent.
And LSU is doing really well this year.
It's true, they are so far.
it's because of Kent.
It is.
Yes!
Aw, I
He's
hope they
amazing.
bleat. I hope
Wow.
they beat Florida next week.
I hope they beat
Yes.
Florida next week,
Go
too.
Tigers.
So, moving on. Last but not least, after Syracuse won their game, the coach had them go into sprints immediately.
That's rough.
I would cry.
That's atrocious. I'd consider dropping.
Yeah,
So would I.
That's rough, especially after winning a game. Not even like a terrible loss, winning a game.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
After, 3-4 hours, they came out, they won.
Yeah.
They beat UConn 27-20, and then you have to drop sprints in pads on that field
Before you even leave.
before you're allowed to. You can't even
Yeah.
set foot in the locker room yet. You're on the field running sprints.
I fear I would pull a Florida football player and take my shoes off and throw them away.
I might grow a special hatred for my own team and just walk off.
Yeah. Just y'all have fun this season. I'm out.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Catch
Good
you on the
luck.
flip.
Yeah.
Catch you on the flip. Have fun.
Yes.
Catch me in the transfer portal tomorrow.
Yes. Maybe I'll switch to basketball for all we know.
Hey, UConn, take me home with you.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes.
Golf team is calling my name right now.
Yeah.
Let's go to the green. I'll meet you out
Yes.
there. Wrong green, though. Not on here anymore. We're going to the golfing green. But, I mean, with that being said, I think from this weekend we've learned a lot of, like, life lessons, such as Don't spit on the people that you're talking to. Don't throw shoes. And live your dream and go play in the marching band at LSU when you're 66 years old. I think I still have my flute in my closet. Who knows? I didn't like marching band, so probably not. But anyway, thanks for dialing into Hail Mary Hotline. This is your host, Bridget.
This is your host, Taylor.
And this is your host, Sarah.
Go dogs!
Go dogs!